Being an adult is literally having to figure out what to eat every single day for the rest of your life. If you don't want to deal with the decision fatigue that comes with that, this video is for you. It's National Nutrition Month, so I'll be sharing lots of nutrition content throughout the month of March. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Kadeen. We have a microphone. I'm playing around with the audio a little bit, so you can let me know in the comments if you like it, if it's weird. The setup is a little cozy tonight, but we aren't doing anything cozy. We're going to be talking about food. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing 14 meal ideas to help you get rid of decision fatigue when it comes to cooking your meals every day. Two things that are kind of challenging for people when it comes to deciding what to eat is first deciding what to eat and also finding the time to make what they've decided to eat. So I have my little book with some of my best made meals from 2024. Let's get into it. So, we are going to start with some breakfast options. The first one is sourdough bread. So, this one was actually my very first successful sourdough bread. And I was playing around with making my own bread just as kind of like something to do, like a new hobby or whatever. I wouldn't have necessarily called myself a baker in the past. I'm more of a person who cooks, not really bake. But I started, I want to say maybe last summer or maybe like towards the end of summer. And literally all of the sourdough breads that I've made at that point were like super overproofed, but I couldn't tell. And they were hard as rocks. Literally hard as rocks. But, anyways, this was my first perfect one. And this was in October of 2024. If you're looking for like a new hobby and you want to play around with baking and making your own bread, I highly recommend sourdough. So, the sourdough bread obviously is really good for making your breakfast, making sandwiches. It's super versatile, good for avocado toast, regular toast, anything peanut butter and jelly, super delicious. And it's also gut healthy because the process of building the starter takes advantage of fermentation. So basically, mixing the flour and water together and then leaving it out and kind of mixing it every couple of days basically allows the flour and water solution to take yeast from the environment. And so that's how your sourdough starter basically has the ability to cause your dough to rise when you make it. So if you're interested in how to make your own starter, there are plenty of videos around that show you step by step how to do it. If you want me to do it, you can comment down below and I'll definitely do it if you want me to. Yeah, you just make it once and then you have bread throughout the week. Not to mention, it's super affordable because all you need is flour, salt, and water. And those are things that you maybe need to buy once a month, depending on the size of your household and how often you eat bread. Next one, ooh, so these were the bagels. These were the first bagels I ever made. And I actually made my own everything but the bagel seasoning, but that's because I didn't have it at home. And it was very makeshift. It was just sesame seeds, chia seeds, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And I kind of just mixed it all together. And then when I did the egg wash on the bagel, I basically just sprinkled it on. And I also did like a cheese one as well, cheese and jalapeno. But yeah, that was like my initial step into bread making. We love a good bread. Obviously, you don't have to make your own bread if you don't want to or have the time. Just buy it at the store and you can make whatever you want with it. Next, oatmeal. So, oatmeal is one of those breakfast foods that's just so easy to make and it doesn't take a lot of time. It's literally put in the pot and you're done in under 30 minutes. So, this one was my turmeric oats, and you basically just make your oats as you normally would. The only thing that you're doing is adding in turmeric and black pepper so that you're able to absorb the turmeric. And I added some sliced apples on top with a blueberry compote, and then I added sesame seeds and chia seeds. Now, for oatmeal, there are so many different ways that you can make your oatmeal. And this one is very much amenable to meal prepping as well. So, if that's something you want to do to save time, that's very, very easy to do. I have a blog post on my blog where I shared 3 recipes for oatmeal, including this one, something that you can check out if you're interested in looking at the full recipe. But this one was super delicious. It's one of my favorites next to apple pie oatmeal, which is actually next. My apple pie oatmeal, the story behind this one is I learned how to stew apples when I was in high school. So I did food and nutrition in high school, and we learned how to stew like stone fruits like apples and pears and things like that. All you need to do is cut up your apple into cubes, and then you want to take like a tablespoon of butter in a saucepan, and you want to basically stew your apples until they're soft. You can add honey and cinnamon to kind of spice it up, and then you can add it to anything. You can add it on top of your pancakes, you can do it on top of French toast, and you can do it on top of your oatmeal. Yeah, so you just make your oatmeal as you normally would, and then make your stewed apples and add them on. Absolutely delicious. This one is waffle with Greek yogurt and caramelized banana and hemp seeds. To caramelize your bananas, you basically kind of do it the same way how you would for stewed apples. So essentially, what you need to do is add in the butter in the pan, and then you want to slice your banana lengthwise and put it face down in the pan and let it caramelize on that side. And then you can flip it over to the other side and let that caramelize as well. And then what that's going to do is basically add a little natural sweetness, and then the yogurt is going to bring in that nice, creamy, comforting texture. Yeah, so this is a good way to have some protein in the morning, but also if you're looking for like a sweet option. So this one was actually inspired by my Jamaican roots. My favorite porridge in Jamaica is peanut porridge. So in my childhood home, we would have porridge on like Saturdays or Sundays, depending on what mom was cooking. But we have many different options of porridges. We had cornmeal porridge, oatmeal, peanut porridge, banana porridge, plantain porridge, so many options. And so this one was actually inspired by peanut porridge because now I live in the US and I can't find the raw peanuts that they use to make the peanut porridge back home. So I had the genius idea of using pistachios. Nuts are a good source of plant based protein. So if you're trying to be more plant forward, nuts are a good source of plant protein. Obviously, you want to do like protein complementation to make sure that you're getting complete protein if you're a plant based eater. But, anyways, I digress. A pistachio porridge, and let me tell you, it was divine. It was absolutely delicious. I think I have a YouTube short video of that recipe on my channel. So if you're interested, definitely go watch that. I will leave it linked below for easier access. But this is also pretty quick to make as well. And I will say it's about under 30 minutes. All you need to do is blend all the ingredients. I'll put them up on the screen. You blend it all in a blender. You want to do it dry, right? So you blend like your oats, your nuts, and all of the dry ingredients. And then you want to bring it to the stove and pour it in along with your coconut milk. You want to add a little bit of water to help with that creaminess. And you want to add your sugar to sweeten, and then you basically mix it and boil it until it thickens. And then you have your porridge and you just pour it into a bowl. You can top it with more pistachios. I added some dried cranberries as well. It was so, so good. I actually am going to make it again soon because it was so good. And I might try other nuts as well. And you can too if you would like. And this is something that you can definitely make ahead and kind of package into little jars. And this one was more of like a summer type breakfast. This one was a papaya boat with Greek yogurt inside and strawberries. And then I added some pine nuts and chia seeds and also some ground almond. Um, Absolutely delicious. Super fresh, super light, and super easy to put together. This under 10 minutes, and you're all good to go. This is something that you can do not just with papaya, you can do it with cantaloupe, honeydew, if you like honeydew. Any fruit that's like that you can kind of scoop out, this would be really good to do. It's just a regular parfait. Essentially, I'm just using the papaya as the container. But if you wanted to do otherwise, you can basically just cut up your papaya, add it to jars, put in your yogurt and your toppings, and stick that in the fridge. And you have it for as many days as you've prepped for. I'm a big fan of breakfast toasts, and so I made a blood orange chia jam. All you need to do is get your blood orange, squeeze all the juices out, boil it on the stove, add in your sweeteners. I did maple syrup for this one. You can add a little vanilla, boil it a little bit until it reduces just a little bit, and then you want to pour it in a jar. You want to let it cool down a little bit because you don't want to cook the chia seeds. So after you boil down your blood orange juice, let it cool and then pour it into a jar with chia seeds, and you want to mix it up so that the chia seeds are evenly dispersed. Put it in your fridge for at least 2 hours or overnight, and you have your own jam. Really simple, really quick and easy. And then you can use it to spread on your toast with almond butter, as I did here. This is something that you can make if you want to make your own jam, or if you want jam and all you have in your pantry are chia seeds and you have some fruit, you can definitely whip up your jam really easy. I also have a recipe for this on my blog if you're interested. The next one, oh, this one was actually really good on the subject of breakfast toast. So this one was an avocado toast with sardines and harissa and basil. So good. Sardines are probably one of the most slept on tinned fish. When I was growing up, I didn't actually like sardines. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that they're my absolute favorite, but I think with the right flavorings, sardines can be really good, and this is a testament of that. And so basically you just toast up your slice of bread or your bagel, and then you want to mash your avocado with some lemon just to make sure that it stays green throughout the duration of you eating it. You don't want to get to the middle of your toast and your avocado is already browning. So, yeah, and then you can add a little salt and pepper to the avocado, and then you can add your sardines on top. And then the harissa was more to give it like a spicy flavor. And so I added that on top. It was so good, so good. The harissa you can find at Trader Joe's if you want to um, try this out. And yeah, I'm a big fan of harissa as a condiment or just to cook with in general. Love that. But yeah, really good source of calcium. Make sure you get the sardines with the bones in. Really good source of calcium and also a good source of protein as well. And this is super easy to whip up. One really more easy. Breakfast. I'm a big breakfast person, so most of these options right now are breakfast. But I will do more of these types of videos. If you're interested, just let me know in the comments and I'll keep doing them. Okay. So then this last one was a balanced breakfast. This was a part of a series that I do in short form. And this one was a balanced breakfast with a sweet potato pancake, scrambled eggs, bacon, and some arugula, pickled onions and carrots, and banana slices and mango slices with chia seeds. Now, this sweet potato pancake was one of the best accidental creations of my life. And so I made it with some leftover sweet potatoes that I had in the fridge. And I basically combined it with green onions and some other seasonings like um, garlic powder, salt, paprika, and you want to add in some flour. And then you basically kind of mix it all together and knead it until you like have a little patty kind of. And then you want to fry it up on both sides on your pan. And then you basically add it with your eggs and bacon and some fruits and veggies. And there you go. You got carbs, protein, you have sources of minerals and vitamins. What more could you ask for? This one was one of my favorite, and it looks really pretty. So if you're interested in different or diversifying the carbs that you add to your plate, if you don't want to just do bread, sweet potato pancakes is a great option. And it was so delicious, so good, super good. And it's very versatile. You can do it with sausages, mushrooms, like a mushroom medley. You can do steamed veggies with your sweet potato pancakes. The opportunities are endless. Okay, so on to lunch options slash dinner. This first one was a salad that was inspired by my home country, Jamaica. We're big fans of rice and peas. A lot of cultures call it rice and beans. We call it rice and peas. And it's basically rice with kidney beans cooked in coconut milk. So good. And I basically just added a bunch of veggies to it and made it into a salad. So if you're looking for um, more plant forward options and you happen to be Jamaican, I think you would like this one. This one was arugula with the rice and peas, avocados, tomatoes, and you can really go crazy with the vegetables that you add to this. And I also added some carrots as well. And then I did like a honey mustard dressing to go on top. And it was really filling and really, really, really delicious. This can take 30 minutes if you use the canned kidney beans. Now, but I go buy the dried kidney beans, way off of pressure. That's gonna take you more than 30 minutes, okay? So get the canned kidney beans and just rinse them under the water to get the liquid off. And then boil your rice, put in your kidney beans, add your coconut milk and your seasonings, cook it down real nice and good. Once your rice is cooked, just toss it in a bowl with a bunch of veggies, add your favorite dressing, and you're good to go. Easy meal prep option as well. And obviously, if you wanted to add some meat to it, you can obviously put some grilled chicken or shrimp or whatever your heart desires. This next salad was one of my favorite creations. It turned out so pretty, and I also have a YouTube short of this. It was with kale, cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, um, chickpeas. Now, the chickpeas I roasted in the oven so that we can have like a little crunch. And so I basically seasoned it with paprika, salt, and pepper. You can do any kind of seasonings that you enjoy. And you can play around with the flavorings for what you add to your roasted chickpeas. And then I basically just sprinkle those on top, added some avocado. And then I think this dressing was just a random dressing that I picked up at Trader Joe's. I'll put the name of it. You can also see it in the short form video that I made. It looks as good as it tasted. And there are also hemp seeds on here. I was playing around with orzo and I think it was coming around to fall. It was actually spring, so they still had some delicata squash at the farmers market. So I picked those up and I did sage, delicata squash, orzo, and it was so good. It came out really, really, really delicious. You boil your orzo, and I also boiled the delicata squash, and then I basically tossed it after they're all cooked. I tossed it in some olive oil, salt, and pepper. Really light and fresh meal. You can have it for lunch, you can have it for dinner, and you can also just do it as a side to your favorite protein. You can add fish. Fish would go really well with this. Chicken can also go well with it as well, but I think seafood, any kind of seafood, salmon would pair really well with the sage delicata squash orzo. So again, just to reiterate, super simple. The orzo cooks in like 2 to 3 minutes, or 5 minutes maximum. And so you basically just boil it, and then you want to add your boiled delicata squash and orzo to the pan with the sage. Make sure that you fry up the sage in the olive oil so that it kind of release some of the flavor into the olive oil. And then you want to add your seasonings to the olive oil. So you can add salt and pepper, um, and I think garlic powder as well to kind of give it a nice little oomph. Yeah, and you kind of just toss it all together and get it all covered in the oil with the seasonings, and absolutely delicious. Highly curry recommend. Chicken chickpea dish with mixed quinoa. So obviously you're getting lots of protein from this meal. You're getting it from the chickpeas. Beans are also good sources of protein. Obviously it's not going to be a complete protein because it's a plant-based protein, but your quinoa gives you complete protein. So that's one of the very few plants that can give you a complete protein. So this one was a curry chicken plus chickpeas. So I basically cooked the curry chicken and cooked the chickpeas in the curry chicken. Um, put them both in one pot basically. So it was chicken and chickpeas, and I put it in the pot and curried it and cooked it together. It has onions in it, garlic, obviously curry, and I love putting cumin in my curry, so that's also in there. Salt and pepper, your regular players, and then also coconut milk. Love putting coconut milk in my curry as well. It gives the flavor, it takes it to a whole other level. I basically plated it up with some cooked quinoa. So this one was really filling, really delicious. If you're looking for a high protein meal, this is a good option as well. You can have it for dinner, lunch. The last one is a honey nut squash soup. This is one of my favorite fall produce items. It's kind of like a sweet pumpkin. All you need to do is puree it with your favorite seasonings and coconut milk, and it's so comforting and yummy. I hope that this was enjoyable and informative and gave you some ideas of meals that you can cook for the next week that's upcoming. I will try to put recipes for things that were not super self explanatory in the description box. And I will also leave links to recipes for some of these that I have written up already on my blog, also in the description box. As always, if this is something that you enjoyed, that you feel you benefited from, feel free to comment down below and request more. I'm open to doing more videos like these. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed. I hope that this video helped to remove some of the decision fatigue around cooking and deciding what to eat for you. And yeah, I had fun talking about these different meals. So I hope you had fun watching it. Happy cooking. Bye.